Oklahoma City was mine. And
Oof.
I could have went with Kenrich Williams here because the fact that no one offered enough to get him via trade from OKC at the deadline just proves to me that he's underrated. But if OKC really wanted a first round pick plus other stuff for him with a year left on his contract, maybe he is more properly rated than I thought. I'm going to step out on a limb here and say that for so long, we viewed Aleksej Pokusevski as this novelty. And I know he's only been in the league for a year and change. He's a real NBA prospect. If you watch him this season, like more recently, since he re-entered the rotation, I think just before Shai Gilgeous-Alexander came back, there is a rhyme and a reason, an actual coherence to his game now. And it can still look funky. There are still like the moments of like a plum that really he hasn't earned, where he's going to be way too overconfident what he can do. He fits all of a sudden off the ball. He's hustled on a bunch of defensive plays, even from behind, but really just as some nice rotations. He can still do some on-ball stuff. I'm intrigued of, it'd be nice if he can face up, work off the dribble, attack the basket, hit these crazy fadeaways, these pull-ups. Maybe he does do that. But the fact that he can move around off the ball or hit shots off the catch now, or sort of find crevices in a half-court in half-court defenses, even though the Thunder don't traditionally operate with a ton of room in half-court anyway, that's like a big deal. And it's another case of, I don't know that I would call him a potential cornerstone. I'm not that high on him. He's a real NBA prospect, though. And I feel like we kind of lost sight of that last year because he looked and played like more of a shot in the dark novelty than anything else.
Yeah, I am so glad I didn't get this team. I think Pokusevski for sure is I just don't know how he's viewed around the league. It's so hard for me to get a gauge on him. I don't know. Like Aaron Wiggins had a minute there, and Trey Mann has moments.
Darius Baisley's defense doesn't receive enough credit too. I just still don't trust anything he does on offense enough.
I was just gonna say, every time I watch him, he does he's like the $1 million move 5-cent finish guy. Like he'll do this incredible, he'll do something remarkable for a player his size to get to the basket, and he'll smoke the layup, or it's just like, it's not all quite there. But yeah, defensively, he has real value. That, I guess, he might've been my pick. I also would have tried to find a way to just shoehorn Josh Giddey in there, because I think he's in like the top 5% of NBA players right now in terms of like how he maps the floor and the way that he sees, all 9 people moving. And I don't think that's something that, necessary, but like he's, 12, 8, and 6 as a rookie. I think probably everybody's kind of onto the fact that he's going to be really good
shooting. I do think that's a concern too.
For sure.
I thought about JRE, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, for a minute, but he hasn't played in 6 weeks. And just like they decided, hey, he's a center in the NBA at 6'9". And I don't think they've had a scrappy defense. I haven't checked this in a while, but per Cleaning the Glass, they were the only team as of last week that ranked in the top 7 of both the frequency with which opponents reach the rim and then opponent field goal percentage at the rim. And so it's like, okay, one of those things can be lucky, not both of them. And You had him playing a lot of your center minutes. You could also go Mike Muscala here. Just they clearly wouldn't trade him for a reason, and he stretched the floor for them. But yeah, they were a tough team. Aaron Wiggins didn't sustain. He was the one that I had circled, and I tend to not. There's been a lot of strong feelings about Trey Mann in recent months, and I feel this is the best way to frame it. It's only because they have the same first name. I'm way higher on the future of Trey Jones in San Antonio than I am on Trey Mann in Oklahoma City.
If we're comparing trays,
framing there, yeah.
No, I think Muscala shooting 43% from 3. That's I don't think you would have pegged that coming into the season. So, or that he was arguably like one of their most positively impactful players per minute.